We are live. Auburn is at the half with Kentucky tied at 10. I am joined with none other than Mike G to give his thoughts on the first half. Auburn showed signs of life in the second quarter, but as usual, we're seeing some poor clock management, some
Yep.
decisions made down the stretch, and Auburn again leaves points on the field. Mike G, what's your thoughts about what you've seen so far?
I'm going to start with the positive. First of all, Caesar, Auburn's defense is eating, so am I. Now, on to business. The Jay Crawford
I hope they're
interception.
not choking either.
Yeah, hopefully they don't do that. But on to the Jay Crawford interception. Points off turnovers in this one. You get the interception, and then you get up the field, you get the touchdown. Great job. You asked me about defense in the pregame, and I told you I got no issues with this defense. Now, look, they adjusted after the first couple drives by Kentucky. It looked like they were moving the ball up and down the field. They gave up a few big plays through the air. That was to be expected. They've done that all year. But Keldrick Falk is getting after it. They are forcing Vandergriff out of the pocket. They're making him uncomfortable. And it's paying dividends on defense. Only 10 points given up in the first half. Let me take a look here. My window closed on me. But when I looked at the total yardage numbers, it was well under 200. I don't even know if they got Caesar 150 yards of total offense in that.
145.
145 yards allowed. Fantastic. So you're doing enough defensively to win this game right now, and you have to stay there. The thing is it holds up well until the fourth quarter, and then suddenly, if it comes down to it, it falls apart. Now, on to offense. What did we say? Get Cam Coleman involved. I said this to Zach when we talked about it, about who the keys were. He had Cam. I had Malcolm Simmons. They got both of those guys involved in the pregame. We also talked about how few times Cam had been targeted inside 10 yards. He had like 3 or 4 catches in that first half inside 10 yards. Where has this been all season? It's there. It can be there. You just got to dial it up. And Peyton is finding these guys. Keandre Lambert-Smith with the great adjustment to help keep a drive going. Plays are there. Now, the interception by Peyton, I'm exasperated by that. Completely exasperated by that. But it didn't lead to points for Kentucky.
And he came back out and began to play better.
Yep, absolutely.
Typically, what we've seen is that that starts a whole line of poor play for Peyton after a pick like that. So it was good to see him bounce back. Mike, I'm still kind of flummoxed by some of this play calling, man. Because even and by the way, it was good to see the field goal kicker return. He put three.
It's gonna be an important 3 points.
McPherson kicked the field goal, but even on that possession, Mike, I didn't like that play call on third down where they called a draw play for Thorne.
Yeah,
I'm thinking Cam Coleman. Like, it's Cam Coleman time. It's one of our big time receivers. Throw it up and let them get it.
Yep.
I don't understand some of the play calls we make at some of these critical moments, but again. Your thoughts, man.
You're on the road, and the touchdown drive was big. The touchdown drive off the turnover was big, and no, I mean, look, man, I'm not looking for perfection from Peyton at this point. Like I said, sometimes we beat a dead horse with things that are wrong with this football team offensively. But what I did see was they were able to establish the run and get the run going, which is positive. That's good because they didn't bail on it. Kentucky was stopping the run. It looked like they were going to stop the run tonight, and they did not give up on the run. I think that was positive to see that from a play calling standpoint. You got Jarquez with 5 carries for 64 yards.
He needs the ball more. He needs the ball more.
Damari's got 5 carries for 26 yards. He's averaging 5 yards per carry. Jarquez is averaging 12 yards per carry. You got 82 yards rushing. If you can pump this thing to 200 yards total on the game, I think you're cooking with grease here. I feel this feels a little different to me. This game feels a tiny bit different to me. I know B. Will is waiting to get in here. I want to get his thoughts, and I want to make sure that we get to the comments here before half. But B. Will, jump in here, man. Oh, nope, not ready. No.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah. Um,
Say something
Hi,
positive.
guys.
Say something nice about Peyton.
No, say how you
no,
feel.
no, I don't have to say anything nice about anybody. How I feel
Say how you
is,
feel.
I mean, it's the same horror show every week, essentially, which is a dumbed down, extremely conservative, and mostly predictable offense where you got to find 100 ways to run the ball because if you put the ball in the QB's hands without the play action, something bad happens. The pass play with the INT, something bad happened. Towards the end, that last drive, I know we were in the chat and Ike and Blake were saying, nah, you got to throw it on this drive. It's too little time left. I was thinking, yeah, but if we just run the ball in 7-8 yard chunks, which is all we were passing, he was passing for in that last drive anyway, at least you get in field goal range and stay in field goal range, maybe you have a shot at the field goal. Instead, the last 2 times that he dropped back to pass where it wasn't play action, 2 sacks. Wade did actually whiff on the block on the left side on that last play. He whiffed on that block. 2 sacks, and now what you thought could be assured by being in that range is gone. But if we had run the ball, I don't know, all the times, it seems like nothing good happens when we try to get him to pass the ball. The coaches are protecting him the best they can by saying, run this way, run that way, trap block. We're doing everything we possibly could to generate runs, and we are doing it. Kentucky's defense got exposed last week. I don't know if this is left over from that, how easily we're finding yards on the ground. Florida ran all over them. I don't know if this is that or if Kentucky's really a good defense that had a bad game. But either way, yards are there to be had. We're getting them. But every time we put the ball in Peyton Thorne's hands, it was a nice throw on the touchdown. And KLS actually just ate that cornerback's lunch. But that was a good throw from Peyton Thorne on that. But then he counters it with the sacks and the INT. So listen, man, I think this is what it's going to be. The coaches have to stop assuming, all right, we got them going with the run. It's time to try to pass. No, it is not. It is never time to pass. You better be wide. Everything better be wide open. We're going to try to pass. You try to drop back without the run game, without the threat of the run game, bad things happen. If it's the left tackle, fine, it's the left tackle. But now you see you don't have that time for Peyton Thorne. Peyton Thorne is not going to make somebody miss in the background. You got to know your personnel. Call better plays.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree. I just think he is what he is at this point. This is the quarterback you've decided to go with. So you have to call the game the way that you have a highest you're not going to get anything different out of him. So I expect mistakes. But 19 passes, and it was a little skewed there at the end because of how they call plays down the stretch to 16 rushes. You're about 50-50 run-pass ratio right now. So you're running the ball. And look, Kentucky's not going to let you do everything you want to do. This was a team that held Georgia to 13 points. So they have the horses to slow you down. And that's Georgia, your Auburn, 2024 Auburn. I'm not. I've been down on this. I've been down on this team, but I don't know. Like this feels different to me tonight. This feels like, and where I disagree would be a little bit about about throwing the ball. You have to test the pass game because when it comes down to it, at the end of the game, if it's tight, and then you got to start slinging it around, and you haven't done it all game, we know how that story ends. Pass the ball now. Like I think that it's appropriate. They're finding Cam Coleman inside 10 yards instead of just throwing deep bombs like they were in games past. And guys are out there making plays, and they've worked Malcolm Simmons into the game plan. God, I like seeing him get the ball behind the line of scrimmage and get upfield. It feels like an automatic 7-8 yards every time he touches it. This is not bad, fellas. This is better than I was expecting. I feel better about this than I have previous games.
I'm a little indifferent. I'm indifferent. I'll be honest. I'm very indifferent.
Hey, y'all so negative today.
Negro, we're always in a good place at halftime.
Hey.
What do you mean?
We are 2-5, Mike. We are 2-5. We can remind you what this season looks like. We have every right to be negative about what we've seen so far.
I'm the one who gets sunshine puppet. Wow.
You trying.
I feel better about this.
Auburn should be up in this game. And Auburn is back. Ineptitude kept points off.
Come on, man.
I'm not going to be positive about this.
The defense going crazy, honestly.
They've been doing what they've been doing. That's what they've been doing. This isn't new for the defense, except for maybe actually getting the interception and not dropping it. Yeah. It led to points, and the offense took advantage of the turnover and scored points. Yeah, this feels a little different to me, man. We'll see. We'll see what it is in the second half.
Yeah, it is different.
If it ends,
it is different. It's the 26th of October. This is another game.
You're on the road.
So that's what's different
at Kentucky. I don't know, man. Like I said, I feel like this feels like the plays may be made in the fourth quarter when Auburn needs them the most. You get the ball coming out of the half if they can open with a score, any points at all. For a team that's been struggling to get points at any capacity, I think this is a positive. What do we say in the pregame? If Auburn scores 28, they win. It still feels like that to me. This actually feels like if they score 28, if they put 18 more points on this board between now and the end of the triple zeros on the clock.
They're not putting 18 more points on the Mike.
You can't put 18 at this point, but
Mike, you in that road shop. You in that road shop.
You can.
You going to the road shop, ain't it?
No.
The only way you can put
y'all not killing my book tonight. I'm not letting y'all kill my book tonight.
Well, we can try.
Hey, the team gonna kill it in a couple minutes, man. What's that halftime clock say?
Yeah, I've been anti-book for like 4 weeks, and tonight I feel like booging, and so I'm booging. Like I get it. I get everybody's skepticism about this, but I was Damari coming in and toting the rock in relief of Jarquez. It felt different to me. Again, they're throwing different types of passes to Cam Coleman to get him involved in the game. That feels different to me. I don't know if I've seen Robert Lewis or Sam Jackson tonight. Have you guys seen them?
I saw Robert Lewis in the huddle a couple times. Yeah, so he's out there, but he's
they're doing what I expected they would do with the two of them after the drops they had last week. Get your playmakers on the field and let them make plays. Feels different. It looks different. Heavy. What's
going to feel different is the second half when if Auburn makes plays, then that's going to feel different because that has not happened in crunch moments.
Yeah, that drive coming out of the second half is going to be a statement drive.
Very important.
Any points at all, right? And I feel great about McPherson being in there if it's 35 or in. There's some things to look up here. It just feels like they're calling it a little differently with how they're throwing the ball to Cam and how they're incorporating. They put Malcolm on kickoff return. I love that too.
Hey,
yeah, he's done that.
Hey, I just think we just need to take a touchback every time. Every time. I don't care if they kick it in the field of play. Just call a fair catch and take it at the 25. Because it's almost every time we try to run it out. Every time we try to run it out, it seems we get called for a holding. And now the offense is like deep in their own territory. Yeah. I just say we just give up on returning the ball out. But anyway, Al Roper says our offense is like watching a right-hand person use chopsticks for the first time while using their left.
I'm terrible with chopsticks too, so this analogy hits home.
Damian Smith says Auburn's first two drives of installed, practiced, and scripted for best outcome plays accumulated 0 yards and 2 3-and-outs.
Yeah, that's been kind of a theme of the season on those first drives. They have not come out fast, but if they can get ahead in the second, because this is a team that's built to play from behind. At all.
Kentucky's not. Auburn. Well, neither team is.
Yeah. Right. So this was kind of a bet. I think, given how it started, this is a little bit of a best case scenario for them to go in tied at the half, not give up any big major plays at the end of the half, and then get the ball to come out of the half.
I will say this: it is encouraging to see Auburn come back from 10-0 to actually be in the game and tie it up. Right. You would have thought Auburn would have buried. So I will say that. For a positive, Mike. That is a positive thing. Brandon Carter says, if we're just going to run the ball, keep Caddy.
Yeah, it's hard to look back at this point. I mean, I get it. I get everybody who feels this way, but, we're here.
Big Homie Lander says, the end of the half, this feels like every week.
Yeah, him taking the sack there, obviously, like the one thing you couldn't do. But again, that is what it is at this point. We're on game 8. And I just can't keep repeating the same stuff. I just expect it at this point. Can they do enough other things in other areas to overcome those plays? That's what I'm looking for.
Lawrence Robinson says also, can we start returning kicks? I'm there with you.
Yeah.
I'm there with you because it's almost a guaranteed penalty when we do so. James Barnett says DJ Durkin dialing it up. Now, yes, I like his game plan today.
They've been good every week, man.
I like his gameplay.
Dirty Dirk and the boys are getting it done.
Dirty Dirk.
They are getting it done, man. Come on, they've been getting it done all year, giving up 339 yards on average of offense every single week is good enough to win in today's college football. Georgia put 500 yards on Bama's defense.
Yeah, if you can, your
We
defense
only
can hold
allowed
them to
381.
23 points or less. If your defense can do that, you got to be able to find 24 points. You got to.
Auburn's having it. The defense is having a really good game so
No
far.
fumbles by the running backs. No fumbles by the running backs.
Agreed.
Hold on to the ball, fellas.
They're running the ball. They need some more carries. Seriously.
Yep.
Ed Darby says, "Can Auburn score 21?" We will find out.
We're going to find out.
Well, we will find out.
Ike was in the chat. He was like, "Man, 10 points might be enough to win this game the way it was going offensively at first."
Heavy with the $5 says, "Mike making me feel uncomfortable being so positive."
Look, it feels different to me. And that should resonate with you guys because I have not been positive. I've been picking against Auburn. You guys were the ones in the weeks before. I think Auburn pulls it out. I was like, no, they're going to lose. Tonight, I feel like they're going to win.
Well, Kentucky is also a not good team with a bad offense. So, yes, we're playing our mirror image. So, yes, we have a chance to win this game.
Dustin Pace says, there is good Peyton Thorne and then there's Peyton in the clutch. Our games are always us just not being able to make normal football plays.
The scramble out where he found Keandre Lambert-Smith after Lambert-Smith dropped a perfect pass, I might add, on the play right before. That felt a little different as well, too. Great adjustment by Keandre. Went to the ground. Yeah, come on, man.
Things changed offensively for Auburn after that play. Mercy says, I will wait until the fourth quarter to see if anything.
I agree with this. I agree. I'm just saying it feels different right now. But this half was different than the other halves. To me, this half was different than the other halves. They figured it out after the first drive. They did not abandon the run immediately because it just, you know what I mean? Kentucky, it looked like they were going to plug up, and they just didn't quit on it. And I think that Auburn quit on they didn't get Jarquez going until second quarter. In a lot of the other games, late second quarter, in a lot of the other games, and by that time it was too late. But they stuck with it, man. I was very excited to see that.
Robert Guy says, I feel like we're in this game and could win it. Just have to finish. I'm with Mike. We're already 2-5. Let's just enjoy the game.
Yeah, man. That's it. McPherson is back. He's back. That could be plus 6 points right there, fellas. Would have been plus 6 points versus Missouri.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oklahoma.
JJ Brand says sprinkle. I mean, if we're going to go back and put people in games that we already played, put Cam in there, right? I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Sprinkle Cobb in now too. Wear them out.
Yeah.
I'm just curious to see how
you got to find different ways to run the ball. You do. So
I'm curious to see what
I expect we will.
Kentucky make. And how Auburn looks. Listen, the game's about to come back on, guys. We will join you in the post game.
It's going to be lit. We're going to be celebrating tonight.
And man, I hope y'all.
Damn it, we're going to be
I
celebrating
gotta go to bed because I got to get up early for work. So I will not see y'all. But I hope y'all celebrate, Mike. And I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna watch the post game in the morning when I get up, Mike.
No,
I hope it's a joyous occasion.
Tonight.
I'm gonna be on extra silent. Don't even worry about
it.
All right, guys. Well, listen, we'll see y'all in the post game. We appreciate y'all. War Eagle.
War Eagle.
War Eagle.